today the focus is going to be on defensive striking. If we think of defense, we probably should think of head movement, right? We should think of footwork, fading away, taking the angles, this sort of thing. Static defense here, parry blocking, shield blocking, right? Body, shielding, and even some of these high defenses. But when we're in the defense, we can also strike. And I'm not talking about counter-fighting. Counter-fighting is what we do to interrupt, to reacquire the initiative. The initiative is the guy that's on offense, okay? So if Caleb is on the offense and he's punching at me, and all I'm doing is this is just defensive blocking, defensive moving. Does that make sense? Sure. Interestingly enough, if he punches and I make a block and I counter him and I'm now on the attack, that's counter-fighting. Doesn't that make sense? Sure. So what is defensive striking? It's basically, instead of defending against this, it's controlling the distance. I know that if I'm this far away, he can touch me with either hand. He can definitely kick me with the lead leg. He can at least hit me with the knee, if not kick me with the back leg. I know the range. So if he's throwing punches and I fade, I really don't have to block so much. But I can still attack on the way out. This is what I want to work on today. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now we have the premise of what the defensive striking is. There's really two ways that we can move in order to get defensive strikes off. Straight back and off to the angle. And how we get there is going to be up to you. We can step, we can spin, we can jump. These are ways that we can move to the right position. So if I'm here and he's been throwing this jab the whole time, every time he's throwing that jab and I keep moving away, I got to decide what technique is really going to easily defeat the jab. What would you say? Joel Fountain says the side kick.
Deep.
Let's kind of think about it.
Yeah.
He's here, I fade out of range, he can't hit me, but where's my side kick?
Right there.
Weight's here, side kick's here, I lift and I can hit him, but he can't hit me. The defensive side kick is my favorite defensive strike. Now, he throws a jab, I go straight back, I can still hit him with defensive side kick. He throws a jab at an angle, I can still hit him with defensive side kick. He throws the jab at an angle out, I can still hit him with defensive side kick. Is that a counter strike? What are we countering? No, I'm not touching the punch. I'm not even interacting with the punch. The punch might as well just be a random hand. What am I countering if this is counter-fighting? The movement! I'm countering his movement. Defensive striking is ultimately just countering movement, setting me up for the right distance and the right angle to make the next attack without having to interact with it. Here's why that's valuable. If he throws low leg, roundhouse kick, he tries to hit, and I do this, I'm no longer in a position to counter. I have to reacquire some sort of stance to counter. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So he does that, I have to go back to here before I can go to here. Does that make sense?
Sure.
He throws jab, I move to here, this is the natural movement. It's faster, but the window of opportunity is low. Who thinks they can already do defensive side kick? All right, let's look at the fine points. Number one, if he hits me, can I still throw the defensive side kick?
No.
Yes, but I've now interacted with this in an uncomfortable way. I might be off balance. So if he hits me, can I still do that? I can. First thing is, let's get out of range. Why don't I just go ahead and block it? Can I do that?
Yes.
But now I have to turn to make that. So what do I really want to do is I want to turn as my defense fade away. Does that make sense? The knee goes where?
To the elbow.
Towards the back elbow, this way. What if I do my knee up this way?
You're scooping.
I'm scooping or short kicking. Does that make sense? Will a short kick be okay?
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay. It might stun him, it might slow him down, it might be something in between you and him. But if he throws that and I drive him from here, man, I'm channeling a lot of power in his body. Avoid, set the position, kick. In a small window of time, that's a defensive side kick. Boom! Get a partner. Size doesn't matter.
You're so mean.
When I make a distinct movement, I want you to count. So if I make one movement, it'll be 1. If I make another movement, it'll be 2. If I make one movement like this,
1,
then if I make one movement like this,
2,
if I go out, it's what?
3,
How many movements would I like to have if possible?
1.
1. All right. He throws a jab. Count.
1, 2, 3.
That's how we teach the 5-year-olds. That's okay to do that when you're first starting, but we literally teach by the numbers. You can teach a 5-year-old that way. That makes sense. Everybody agree?
Yes, sir.
It's called by the numbers instruction. He throws a punch. What? How many was that?
1.
All right. I kind of felt like that was still 2, but maybe I'm not fast. I don't know. Let's see.
2.
All right. Now, what if I do this, and it's so smooth you can't differentiate it? It could be 1. The smoother is going to equal faster. Now, here's why. Here's why this is important. How many people are going to throw just one jab?
Nobody.
Well, let's say they did throw just one jab. What's coming next?
Cross.
It's probably a 1, then maybe a 1, 2, or it's going to be 1, 2, one after the other. How much time do I have?
Little.
All right, let's think about this. He throws jab, and I go 1. He throws 2. Is that faster than this? Yes, his cross will be faster. I have to be, maybe take another fade away, right? So he throws 1. 2 is already coming. I might have to get further away if I'm taking too long. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Of course. You just have to be aware. But if he throws 1, and I hit him on 2, when he's about to throw that one, I've made the window. All right. Let's count Caleb's. Smooth. When I punch, he's going to go. Somebody say go.
Go.
What do you think?
2.
Somebody said 2. It can be smoother, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Somebody say go.
Go.
All right. Now you said, and I heard, and he also heard the go, so he could anticipate. That's kind of cool. Now we'll do it with no command, right? So when I throw, he's got to see something happening, and he's got to start to fade immediately. Does that make sense? Right? So the thing is once we start seeing some body movement, it's okay to start the movement, right? So if I fake him, can he still move?
Yes.
Totally. It might set him up for that. I could come in after the fake and hit him with the 1, 2, but the bottom line is it's okay to, and then stuff them when they come in. Can we do that on 1?
Yes, sir.
If you can't do it on 1, at least do it on 2. Don't do it on 3. 3 is too many steps. Go. My instructor, Matt Avent, who is on the wall in the red pants, taught me a long time ago, Curtis, you're a master sculptor in martial arts. Is really what he told me. It's not your job to look at a piece of stone and go, it's done. You chip a piece away and then you watch. Maybe you go in there and you sand that off. Then you chip another piece away. You take your time. I can't make you guys perfect, but I want to. I want you guys to have this thing down and perfect. So, of course, I take a break and I show you some errors and you guys can think about it. Then we'll smooth those pieces out. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, if I'm a little far forward here and he throws that jab, I either have to do this or I have to do this and then that to some extent. I could just do this. Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
Face is here, he punches, face is now here. Does that make sense? Face is here, bop. He punches, face is now here. Right? So if I'm here forward, he punches, this is what I do. Hands are forward, face is forward, I block. So I'm going to be slightly more upright, relaxed. When he punches, I can fade naturally. So if we're committed forward, he punches, bop! We can do that. Otherwise, he punches and I'm here. Now, which kick do I have?
Teeth.
You do front kick.
Front kick. I can teep. I can do that. Can I easily side kick?
No.
What does a side kick look like from this position?
Wrong.
It's like a stupid front kick. It's not even a good front kick. It's like a bad side kick and a bad front kick. got together and had an ugly kick. Okay? So this is not going to give you an opportunity to really fade as if you're going to run away. It's not wrong. He does this and I do that, that works. He does that, I do this, I come back in, that works. But for all intents and purposes, I like to do this. And then I drill him. Does that make sense? All right, on the bags. Who can show me a fadeaway side kick on the bag? Who feels pretty good about it? All right. Only 2 people in the whole room. Man, how about who can do it, but you don't want to demonstrate right now? All right, good. All right, I feel better. Let's see. Caitlin. She's going to be pretty sinking close. Could she normally lead leg side kick in this position? She has to make a movement. When you're ready. Fade, kick. Not bad. Caleb. Pretty close. He's going to fade from uppercut range. When you're ready, sir. Not bad. He made a lot of space. Almost had to slide inside kick to get back into range, which allows for forward movement too. Pretty cool. Does that make sense? Sure. Find your range and feel good about it, right? Can I kick from here? And he just has to come back for that to happen. If I do it this way, this is what I get. Does that make sense? See how I'm not turned? That's all I got. My leg doesn't move any better. I turn, I get the knee back here. And I kick this way. I can extend out the power. Does that make sense? From close range. Go. Get ready. Let's see. The front kick works extremely well. This will be way easier than the side kick, but I wanted to spend the time on the side kick, so I'm teaching this one second. So, let me get somebody much shorter. Where's Josh? Come here, Josh. All right. So Josh gets in his stance, his fighting stance. I go to make a jab, and he's just going to stand there for measuring purposes. He's not going to move. He's going to stand strong. This is where I'm at. Does that make sense for my jab?
Yes, sir.
Bop. Now, from here, can he take his front leg and put it on my body?
Maybe. Yeah.
Short.
Now, but watch. Now can he do it?
Yes.
Double yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So he's on the edge of his range where I can barely jab him. That's where he should live. Unless he's coming in to attack, he should live right on the edge of my range. Would everyone agree?
Certainly.
When I extend, he now makes a small adjustment and makes his kick, and I am way wide open for it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Josh. All right, so that being the case, how are we going to make this kick? This is a lead leg kick. There's 2 functions on how we normally kick. The back leg typically has more.
Power.
The front leg doesn't have as much, so what do?
Quicker.
It's quicker. We use speed. So I'm going to say, for all intents and purposes, I could, if I'm at longer range, I could go boom and push him. Is that the kind of kick I'm going to use?
Nope.
No, for a defensive kick, snap kick. Make sense? So, he goes to the jab, and I hit him right in the groin. Don't you think that would work for self-defense?
Yes, sir.
Do I have to hit him with all that power?
No.
Everybody's like, man, I did not see that coming. I was thinking you're going to hit him right in the jab. All right, self-defense. Let's talk a little bit more about within a small confined space of rules in the school or in a competition. Let's kind of keep it above the waist, right? He throws a jab. I just got to be here. I might not be able to get it all the way up to make this big extension with the hips. But he goes here. Can't I go up and stick that on him?
Sure.
Where do I want to hit him in his body? Somebody says sternum, right?
Solar plexus.
Somebody says low in the diaphragm. Somebody said solar plexus.
Liver.
All right, now he's going to have to hit me with his right hand this way for me to get the liver kick off, but I could, depending on what he throws. All right, I'm going to aim, if I can, right above the belt. It's going to be about the belly button area. And the reason why is I want to disrupt his breathing, his diaphragm. Let's stun the diaphragm. Right above the belly button, he comes in, I go, bop! Does that make sense?
Sir.
Now, what if he's a southpaw? He throws that jab, what do? I can hit the liver, right? I can also hit him high up in the armpit in the ribs. And that's a hurt thing, okay? Get with your friends, it's a snap kick on the lead leg this way. Doesn't have to be a big pushing kick. It just bop, it's fast, it's clean, knee comes up high, snap out quick. Don't destroy your friend, but move with speed. Go. All right, so do I have to hit him in the body at all? No. Right? I could be here, he throws that, I could go bink, hit him right in the kneecap. It's just gonna slow him down, it's not gonna cripple him. Right? Where else could I hit him?
Chin.
The chin? All right, he throws that, and I go, whoop, whoop, yeah. I could definitely hit him in the chin. If your kicks are high, you're nice and flexible in the hamstrings. You could definitely do that. But let's kind of think about it. If I'm in here in this kind of clinching position, I'm going to kick him right.
Oh, that really hurt.
No, his shoe was sticking up in a weird way. It was like elf shoes. My foot got hung up on his shoe. That'll be a blooper. It should be here. Pop! Right? The minor peroneal nerve, right, in the bottom of the ankle, right? I can also hit him here. If I'm a little bit further apart, I can hit him here with either leg, right? I can hit him in the hip joint. Why would I shoot for the hip joint? Knocks him back, stops forward motion, right? Hit him right in the toe, man. I busted that toe. He's going to be complaining about that toe forever. Self-defense, I can hit him in the groin. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So since it's so easy to throw this kick, remember, this takes a little bit of footwork. You just lean back and you just make a shot. Why not? Let's do this. When he throws a jab, we move to the angle and try to make this shot if we can. Now, if you step, you're going to get the other leg. He punches, I step here, it'll be the other leg. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Play with it on the angle. Sorry about yanking up your toe, man. Go! It's okay to occasionally have a blooper. Don't intentionally injure your friend. I'm really sorry I yanked up your toe, man. I'm telling you, man, he had like elf shoes, man. Toe was sticking right up. I'm like, how did I hit that? That's not what I was even aiming at. Anyways. Good blooper. We'll save that one. Hopefully that one will be separate and everybody will see how powerful I am. That even accidentally, I'm crippling people, right? All right. The question was, is it always going to be the front leg? What's the answer?
No.
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, if you step.
Well, teeth is usually front leg, but you can switch your front leg.
There we go.
Front leg.
When would we switch to the other, make the other leg the front leg? When would we do that?
You
Angle.
step back.
Depending on the angle, right? When we step back. So let's look at it from this angle. My right leg is back. If I fade back, where's my weight?
Right leg.
Then which leg should I kick with?
Left leg.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
So he
sir.
punches, I do this, that makes sense. What if I move to this angle? Where's my weight?
Right leg.
Right leg.
What should I kick with when he punches?
Left
Left
leg.
Left leg. Here's the trick. If he punches and I want to move to that angle, which leg do I move?
Left leg.
Which leg is the front leg?
Right leg.
Now this is where I'm at. It's still the front leg because I've switched stance. But again, if I'm here, right, and I want to be here, I could go 1, 2, it's now a back leg kick, right? I could go 1, 2, which is an odd step. But the natural thing is I step back in defense. This is defensive striking. And I drop. And I might have to make a slide if he doesn't commit. Might have to move forward. You see how I've changed the dynamic of the movement, changed which leg is forward, but it's still a lead leg kick. Once I move from here, would everyone agree? This is now the lead leg?
Yeah.
Is it still kind of a snap kick?
Yes.
What is the exception?
You could do that.
Okay. You did your hands like this. I like
Well,
that.
it's the left front, and then you just basically step back, the switch kick. Yeah,
All right, so
I
I
don't know why.
can switch kick this way.
Yes, sir.
Let's say we switch kick in the air. What is that called?
Oh.
It's a jump kick. Everybody's thinking of all the technical terms. It must be a special name. So technically, if I was fast enough, this would be hard to outrun a jab. But he punches, I can kick this way and change position, making the back leg power moving on the back angle. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So a jump would be the alternative, would be the option. Questions?
Yes, sir.
We hit hard on the side kick, we hit hard on the lead leg round kick. These are good ways to defend because we're moving away from the punch. At the same time, we're loading the kick. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there other options?
Yes.
Can we make a spin kick? Can we step to the angled spin kick?
Yes.
Sure. So can we front kick? Yes. Can we side kick? Yes. Can we step to the angle and round kick?
Yes.
Good.
Sure. Can I do that?
Yes.
Totally. You just have to understand the angle. You have to understand where your weight is. Then you have to decide how you're going to make the action. We must fight! Put up the back down and try to kill each other. You will hear me say, right, gentlemen, or lighter, ladies, lighter. It's up to you to back off and say, let's go lighter. If you guys continue to escalate, I'm just going to sound basically for the reasons of liability, I'm going to have everybody recording. I'm going to be like, didn't I say like lighter 25 times? Right? I said lighter. That'll help you out in life if you listen to the coach. All right, ready?
Yes, sir.
Go! Oh, no. Nice. Good. Balance zone. Balance, Billy. Make your punches clean. Have poise. Have poise. Good. Oh, looking good. Nice and clean. Make him defend against your kick. If he's afraid of your kicks, you will get him with a punch. He'll be waiting for the kick. That looks good. That looks brilliant.
X kick? Yes.
Come on, Hannah. Don't wait. Don't wait. Oh, the elbow. Don't wait. Block the chin. Come in.
Yeah.
Good hand movement, Billy. Stay alert, sir.
Yeah. I think you showed me that before.
Balance, Josh. For the hold, Billy. For the hold. It'll give you something. Take the hold. Take the hold. Good. Good job, sir. That was a good looking jab, Caleb. Good front gag. Oh, that was a great jab. On the move. Nicely done. Woo. That was a good one. Come on. You got to move fast. Josh. Right around, Josh. That was a great maneuver. Everybody see this cool little piece of plastic out of my hand?
Yeah.
Just stick it in your mouth. And your mouth numb when you're fighting. It ain't helping you. You gotta get your jaw broke, you're gonna get your teeth knocked out. You gotta bite this thing, all right? Breathe through your nose. Make sure you're biting that mouth, because I see a lot of y'all open mouth. By the way, I've seen myself in the videos. Open mouth, right? Sometimes we get tired, mouth comes open. They know you're tired. Bite the mouthpiece, okay? Sure. Breathe through your nose. Ready? Bow, touch glove. Nice. Nice on the jab. Jackson. Nice, Caleb. Nice on the move. Nice. Oh, dude. Your hair was in there. Nice defensive move. Landon. What are you laughing about? Good head movement, Jackson. Nice counter left. Hands up on the way out. Hands up on the way out. Nice side kick. Nice hook, Lyndon. Oh no, I'm sorry. Just the hair right there. Oh, go girl! I love to see that. It's all right. You're good doing it. Nice little good. Nice and nice. Well controlled. It's a kick after all that, Lyndon. Then she knows how to see it. It's a deal. Oh, look at it. It's a good too. Come on. Get in. Josh. Kick. Nice, baby. You're good. Sweet. Nice light shot. Those are ones. Those are ones, Dylan. After that, go kick. Hands on the head. Yeah. Nice down. Nice down. Yes, Jackson. Good hooks. Good head movement, Jackson. So good. You on your heels? Keep following. Come on, Vicky, wear them out. Come on, we're gonna get it. Hands up. Head. Oh, there we go. There goes for the takedown. Hey, look good. Save it for jiu-jitsu. Or wrestling.
I really tried to defend that, like,
I know.
like stable
I know
down.
you said,
Come on, you know you're not working hard enough. Hit her. Time.
You're doing a good job.
Go. That one.